Broadcasting House in New England Ville. This is Weekend News on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. I'm Cecilia Alice Cisse. Your top stories this evening. A survey in 10 public universities in Sierra Leone reveals widespread concerns over sexual and gender-based violence. ECOWAS representative calls on Sierra Leoneans to take collective responsibility in protecting the environment. And NRA opens new border crossing post at Gendema in Pujaun district. For these stories and more, plus sport and entertainment, are lined up in this edition of the news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, a gender and power analysis survey conducted across 10 public universities in Sierra Leone has revealed widespread concerns over sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, with researchers highlighting weak institutional policies, low awareness levels, and inadequate reporting mechanisms within tertiary institutions. The findings were disclosed during a validation meeting held under the Building Respect and Anti-Violence Education for Women and Girls BRAVE project implemented by Send Sierra Leone and supported by Well Hunger Life and the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development BMZ. Emmanuel Samora reports.
The Gender and Power Analysis Report aims to promote equality and strengthen inclusive learning environments across public universities in the country. Speaking at the event, Country Director of Send Sierra Leone Joseph Ayamga said many students enter universities in pursuit of education but often leave burdened by fear, silence and emotional trauma caused by abuse and intimidation. He warned that universities risk normalizing violence and harassment if stronger accountability and protection systems are not established.
When 66% of students do not know where to report sexual and gender-based violence, silence has become institutional. And when only 7% trust the confidentiality of reporting systems, then trust itself is in crisis.
Presenting the findings, Sheka Kamara, head of research at Yamsal Services, disclosed that the survey engaged more than 3,500 students alongside university management staff across 10 public university campuses using a mixed method approach. According to the report, one of the major gaps identified is the absence of comprehensive provisions on SGBV in the Universities Act, which only addresses sexual harassment, while overlooking broader forms of gender-based violence. The survey also found that awareness of GBV policies among students remains significantly low across most institutions.
So one of the things we find out that there is low awareness of GBV policy within the university. We find out that a lot of university students, some do not even aware that there are laws. We are like 47% of the university students who said they do not know if there is any law on SGBV.
Following the presentation, stakeholders reacted to the findings with mixed feelings, while also calling for urgent need for reforms.
There is a system that no one person can go beyond. So to create the impression that students are free to complain, but at the end of the day, they will be victimized for that. That is the problem, in fact. The problem really is that most of these students are not sensitized enough to know that it is their right, to know that there are channels they can take up their matters, and these matters will be addressed.
Participants were later divided into working groups to develop practical recommendations aimed at addressing SGBV and strengthening survival support systems within universities. Project manager Augusta Nyambe explained that the BRAVE project was initiated following several studies that revealed the widespread prevalence of SGBV within the education sector.
The BRAVE project came as a result of a visibility studies which we did way back then, and it tells us that the issues around gender-based violence is very prevalent within the educational system, especially within the tertiary educational institution. And when you look at the awareness level, it's been very limited. And then in terms of reporting again, people are not reporting because of fear of stigma, of issue of confidentiality.
She further disclosed that the next phase of the initiative will focus on harmonizing existing university policies and develop a standardized GBV policy framework for tertiary institutions across Sierra Leone. Emmanuel Samoa, SLBC.
Now, the ECOWAS resident representative has called on citizens to take collective responsibility in protecting the environment through regular cleaning up activities and proper sanitation practices. Ambassador John Azuma was speaking at the ECOWAS Jubilee Celebration Plastic Free and Beach Clean campaign on the theme Say No to Plastic Pollution. The initiative was in continuation of the ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration to raise awareness and promoting sustainable pollution solution to reduce plastic waste in Freetown. Ibrahim Samoa reports.
This landmark event aims to tackle environmental challenges and promote sustainable waste management under the theme Say No to Plastic Pollution. The cleanup campaign forms part of broader effort by the ECOWAS Commission, its partners and government-line ministries to promote environmental sustainability, improve public health conditions, and encourage community participation in sanitation initiatives across the country. The exercise brought together community stakeholders, the military, environmental advocates, and residents. ECOWAS envoy Ambassador John Azuma emphasized the importance of maintaining a clean and healthy environment, noting that environmental protection is essential for public health, sustainable living, and the preservation of natural resources within the ecosystem. The initiative, he said, was part of ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration aimed at creating greater public awareness about environmental cleanliness and encouraging citizens to adopt regular sanitation practices in their homes, communities, beaches, and public spaces.
It's not going to be a one-day wonder. It is going to be a continuous process, a sustainable process of having very clean environment, very clean cooking methods, to save our women and children.
Minister of Planning and Economic Development Kenya Bale said the exercise was designed to promote sustainable waste management and environmental awareness across the city. She stressed that a healthy environment directly contributes to the well-being of citizens. Mayor of Freetown, Ivo Akinsoya, called on residents of Freetown to take greater responsibility for waste disposal and environmental sanitation as part of ongoing efforts to maintain a cleaner and healthier city. She told her audience that indiscriminate dumping of garbage continues to pose serious environmental and public health challenges across the capital. Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Nabila Tunis, expressed concern over the continued practice of dumping waste into the sea and public spaces, noting that such behavior undermines ongoing efforts by city authorities and environmental partners to keep the beach clean.
Most of the dirt that is deposited here comes from all over the country, as far as different islands across this place, so because people have been dumping waste indiscriminately. So if I am to even calculate the hours that we've spent, maybe we've spent months, basically, if you put it together, we've spent months just cleaning the beach, just picking up filth that has not been deposited on the beach, but filth that comes, washes ashore from different areas. And what we've been trying to do is to create that awareness, that consciousness that we need to instill a practice of responsible disposal disposal of waste.
The beach cleanup campaign forms part of broader efforts by the ECOWAS Commission and its partners to promote sustainable waste management and environmental awareness across the country. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
Away from that, the National Revenue Authority (NRA) has commissioned the newly constructed border crossing post at Jendema in Pujehun District, marking another milestone in Sierra Leone's drive towards customs modernization, improved border security, and enhanced revenue generation. Esther Susanette Bassi reports.
Officially, for this ruling,
the new facility is expected to strengthen trade and improve operational efficiency at one of the country's key border entry points. The National Revenue Authority (NRA) announced that the Asikuda automated customs system, together with banking services, will be operational at the border post to enhance transparency, tax compliance, and revenue mobilization. Speakers also stressed the need for modern technology, digitalization, information sharing, and coordinated border management to address challenges posed by illicit trade and cross-border crimes.
This facility is going to house customs, but it's going to be a reference point of our collective determination to move our country to a financial independent state.
From the time you pave this road, the number in the revenue collection across the border has changed. And as part of that, in recent time, we won the second highest place, rural border collection. That is because of the road connectivity that we have with Sierra Leone. So this country now become my second home because I'm benefiting a lot from Sierra Leone.
The NRA board chairman described the completion of the border post as a major achievement, adding that the new facility would improve trade security, revenue administration, and working conditions for customs officers.
This is an achievement which is the first of the kind where NRA has solely funded and constructed an office space for its own.
Local chiefdom authorities welcomed the project and expressed appreciation to the NRA for its continued support to communities in the area. They highlighted several community development initiatives undertaken by the authority, including the rehabilitation of a primary school, support to a health center, and efforts in combating drug-related activities within the chiefdom. The NRA says the operationalization of the Asikuda automated system and banking services at the Jendema border crossing post will significantly improve efficiency, transparency, revenue collection, and trade facilitation at Sierra Leone's border operations. For SLBC News, Esther Susanette Bassi reporting.
Bloombank Africa Sierra Leone Limited has met with key players in the finance sector to discuss on artificial intelligence for finance professionals in Freetown. Policymakers and other industry stakeholders discussed on how they can use AI to transform financial strategy reporting and decision-making in modern-day system. Aminata Bangoa tells us more.
AI for finance professionals was the central discussion of the session. It also brought out practical applications of AI in improving efficiency, strengthening financial analysis, and enhancing business operations within Sierra Leone's financial sector. Board Chair of Bloombank, Aminata Kamara, said, "Nowadays, millions of Sierra Leoneans use smartphones that connect them instantly to global information." She said, "The digital revolution is shaping the way people live and work. The reason using such platforms for financial transactions was needed."
What once sat in academic labs and science fiction stories is becoming part of everyday life. AI is more than a new tool. It is reshaping every sector in our economy. It is helping banks use data to strengthen risk management, supporting the healthcare profession to detect diseases from imaging, and enabling farmers to forecast yields with satellite data. The momentum is remarkable and can only grow.
Director of Financial Management, System and Technology, Ministry of Finance, Sierra Leone, Dr. Simeon Jonjo, said that the financial sector is critical to economic growth and national development. However, he went on, access to finance has been a challenge for the people. He said government and its partners through financial legislations would explore ways to enhance financial inclusion, increase efficiency across industries, reduce fraud, improve customer experience, and develop smarter economic policies.
Sierra Leone. But within the global financial sector, we have to improve our internet connectivity so that we can reach out and they can reach us. We have to have that reach globally. We also need to transform our power sector because, as you know already, artificial intelligence consumes a lot of power, and it has to be on a 24/7 basis because we've got cognitive AI, we've got all kinds of AI that keeps learning. So the more data you feed it, the more it learns and the more productive and useful it can be.
Gideon Bafo, the facilitator of the event, took participants through the session, guiding them on key concepts and practical insights related to the topic. The session wrapped off with participants leveraging artificial intelligence to strengthening the financial sector, improving efficiency, and support smarter decision-making within Sierra Leone's evolving economy. Bloombank Africa Sierra Leone Limited partnered with Oakwood Knowledge Academy to capacitate financial experts on latest financial trends, not limited to the use of AI in the sector. SLBC, Aminata Bangua reporting.
Away from that, the people of Kono have declared the district a non-swim district, pledging full support to President Julius Maada Bio. The declaration was made at the official opening of the newly constructed Sierra Leone People's Party edifice in Kono district. Our State House correspondent, Margaret Senger, reports.
The structure symbolizes the Sierra Leone People's Party commitment to unity and reconciliation in Kono, after decades without a permanent party office in the district. At the handing over ceremony, President Julius Maada Bio said the building represents unity, stability, and the party's determination to work together for development and victory in the 2028 elections. The president described the opening as a major turning point for the Sierra Leone People's Party.
I've been promised, I did do them one by one, and today now one of the things that I want for deliver to now. Any party will not get home. Anybody will don't own at 75, you not get place where you call you permanent home, where not to rent in the pay, then something wrong. Exactly. So, SLPP, the great SLPP, 75 years on, we don't get permanent hosts. Nobody know they give it run again. Not so.
President Bio said that under the current leadership, the SLPP has established permanent offices across the country for the first time in its history. He thanked the people of Kono for their loyalty and continued support to the party over the years despite many challenges.
Any party will not get home. Anybody who don't own at 75, you not get place where you call you permanent home, where not to rent in the pay, then something wrong. Exactly. So, SLPP, the great SLPP, 75 years on, we don't get permanent hosts. Nobody know they give it run again. Not so. So may I use this opportunity for say thank you to the Kamachele family, where in the recent history, Nadena will landlord them. I must say, not to landlord, they will give you hard time. They support we, even when they be there, they say, they're for drag we, they're not drag we. Thank you, the Kamachele family. Thank you.
First Lady Dr. Fatima Bio, who championed the construction of the office, said the SLPP has undergone significant transformation under President Bio leadership.
Mr. President, in record time. We don't do them. Under your vision, under your financial guidance, under your protection, you make sure say we able to do something like this, Nakono, and not say for let this happen. It's for true love for me and my people, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the resources. Thank you for opening the doors. Thank you for able to open the gates. Outside lock, you open outside for we able to do this.
Madam Fatima Bio added that the SLPP remains peaceful, focused and united with a clear vision for the future. She also thanked Paramount Chief Paul Gaba Sakwi for providing the land for the project.
So I will say, whatever Madam Bio don't promise for now, this I want for guarantee una. And I want to night back now that book say, whatever Madam Bio don't promise for now they get them by the grace of God. They get them by the grace of God. So una continue forget the faith where una get Panam. Una continue for believing in leadership. Una continue for no say yes, Madam Bio mean well for this country.
National Chairman of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Jimmy Batilo Sunga, highlighted the development projects implemented in Kono under President Bio administration, including the establishment of a university in the district. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to working with people of Kono to deliver more development.
SLPP, today we all there. We never get one thing in our mind. Then regardless of who you support, regardless of who you there with, we all belong to one party. And one great person, they must succeed the president. So the time for hala between we said, the time for violence, the time for indiscipline, we are not put on here. We concentrate on the president's agenda to make sure he able to deliver the balancing land where he get my table.
Mayor Matthew Kombasam, speaking on behalf of the people of Kono, declared that Kono has never been a swing district and never will be. He said that perception was built on misinformation.
So in 2018, Siboti take all over, but again, SLP can second. So people can say, in 2020, of course, the result is we get 7 MP out of 10 and SLP win all over. So the people who say Corona swing state, that myth, I don't know what's they pull up, but not for the Corona people. We are not a swing state. The only thing was a correct mistake.
District Chairman Safia Moiwa also reaffirmed the district's strong support for President Bio and the SLPP.
This is the most sexiest party office in the whole country. And today, by the special grace of God, we will hand over this party official to the party. But unfortunately,
SLPP Kono District Chairlady Martha Berete said the party now enjoys total peace and unity in Kono. She added that members are ready to support whoever President Bio chooses as the party's next flag bearer. President Bio later handed over the keys of the new building to the SLPP national chairman during a ceremony attended by party executives, supporters, and residents of Kono district. The new office forms part of a nationwide SLPP initiative to strengthen party structures and improve community engagement ahead of the 2028 election cycle. Party officials say the office will serve as a center for mobilization, coordination, and service delivery to members and residents of the district.
Plan International Sierra Leone and partners have embarked on a joint monitoring exercise to various project communities implemented under the Youth Climate Action Accelerator. The appraisal was to take stock of progress made and identify possible changes and challenges. Ibrahim Samoa tells us more in this report.
The team from Plan International Sierra Leone and partners began its monitoring exercise at the St. Thomas Primary School Club Garden implemented by Youth Initiative for Climate Action, Coletown Mangrove Restoration, the community-based mangrove maintenance implemented by Nature for Mangroves, and Woman for Mekam at Congo Town. The move is to help address climate change and create green spaces in schools and communities. Esther Yeli Kamara is the lead Youth Initiative for Climate Action.
To create a source of fresh air, because there's something going around that most people don't take notice of, and that's the poor quality of the air that we breathe, especially in this community where they have a huge dump site already existing.
For Abu Bari from Nature for Mangroves, through the support from Plan International, they have planted over 1,000 mangroves with the aim to conserve and restore the lost mangroves, while Sabiatu Nabiu Sandin of Woman for Mekam, they have planted the mangroves to restore biodiversity and mitigate flash floods.
Help us to curb storms and strong winds from the sea, and also help coastal communities from coastal erosions and flooding. And the mangroves we are seeing have been proven based on research that they sequence carbon 4 times than terrestrial forest.
Another beneficiaries are the Sound and Heart for Change, the Youth Panel Circle, Youth Vibes, Green Flames, and Youth in Action for ICT and Transformation. Their support focus on transforming waste into treasures and other usable products.
Project seeks to reduce waste because we know these communities, the critical challenges that they face in terms of waste, and that has actually increases their vulnerabilities to respond to climate change.
According to the CEO and founder of Girls Renewable Energy, Christina Kamara, our organization is constructing a solar system dryer to support the community.
One of the benefits is to reduce post-harvest losses, because we find out that most farmers go through this post-harvest losses, and to also reduce the reliance of fossil fuel, because it is medically not advisable to inhale smoke, and also because we know the conventional drying system is just leaving your foodstuff outside, which breeds in some bacteria like Salmonella, Staphylococcus, that causes typhoid.
The team from Plan International Sierra Leone and partners said they were impressed with the intervention of the youths, though identify possible area of supports. The project was designed by Plan International Sierra Leone to support young people in informal settlement to lead local climate action by improving access to resources, networks, expertise, and recognition. It is implemented in Coletown, Greybush, Congo Town, Crab Town communities, and the Kintom West sites.
You're still watching Weekend News on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. The rest of the news continues. The Ministry of Trade and Industry has observed a recent increase in cement prices across the country. According to the notice, these increases are largely driven by development in the international market, including the ongoing crisis in the Middle East, which has raised global energy prices and increased freight and other import-related costs. In response, the ministry has engaged importers and other private sector stakeholders to maintain a steady supply of cement and promote fairness for consumers. The release went on that following a review of current cost and pricing structure, the revised prices are as follows. Western area, 205 leones for imported cement and 195 leones for local cement. Port Loko district is 220 leones for imported cement, while local cement is to be sold at 210 leones. For Bo district is 225 leones for imported cement and local cement is 215 leones. And then Kenema is 230 leones for imported cement and 220 leones for local cement. While McKinney imported cement is 220 leones, and local cement is 212 leones respectively. The ministry said it would continue to review the cement prices periodically in consultation with importers and producers. Now, away from that, the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority a few days ago informed the public that a 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant for annual maintenance. The notice noted that the move was to strengthen the reliability of the national grid with a load management schedule. Amidst the growing concern of power outage across the country, how will the EDSA and EGTC navigate the distribution of electricity across the country? Moses Conte reports.
The Electricity and Supply Authority says Freetown needs about 80 megawatts. At the moment, Bumbuna only produces 2 megawatts because of the low level of River Rokel. Minister of Energy Cyril Arnold Grant says maintenance of the Bumbuna Hydro Dam has been a normal routine for the past 8 years, especially between April and May.
It's particularly terrible because the main generator that we have, Bumbuna, which is a hydro dam, at this time of year, every year, goes down, and in fact, it doesn't produce more than 2 megawatts that comes to Freetown. On a typical day in Freetown, we need about 80 megawatts to keep everybody happy. At the peak in the evening, when everybody is home, the air conditioners and everybody is home, we need about 80 megawatts. So you can imagine that Bumbuna, as it is right now, because of the level of water, only produces 2 megawatts, and it is backed up by, in the daytime, we have some solar feeds. We have about 15 megawatts from Makot. We have now, fortunately for us, a new project, Newton, which is still under construction, but that produces anywhere from about 10 to about 22 megawatts. And then, of course, we also have Car Power, which we've contracted for them to produce about 45. So it's a problem every year, and especially now.
He added several projects are on the way to solve electricity challenges.
So in the future, I envision a system where we won't have to have this discussion about power. Power will be available. And we are working, as I told you, we are working with sources of power that are going to be solar. What I'm saying is that 2026 is going to be the last year that is a reality for Sierra Leoneans. Yes, it's going to be 2027, but right around the corner, the Newton plant is already generating. It's not completed, but I was there about 2 weeks ago, and it was already pulling out in excess of 20 megawatts of power during the day, because it's a solar plant.
Mr. Grant also assures the public for an alternative solution of availability of electricity during the maintenance period.
So we've told them, no, you cannot extend this for 11 days. We can give you the maximum of 5 days. Let all the staff work overtime shifts, make sure they work around the clock to make sure that we can do all the maintenance we needed done over the next 5 days in preparation for the new rain season. At the same time, we've spoken to Car Power and they've agreed. They're going to increase their production from 45 to 65 megawatts. That now will give us enough power, and they will power those 4 transformers that I spoke about, which will now transmit power to all areas, at least 80% of the network will power.
The minister appeals to the public to exercise patience.
Now, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Selukuma, has honored retired Superintendent of Police and Paramount Chief Brahma Sandi Suri Jim Abu Sankor, popularly known as Jaminatu, for his exemplary voluntary service in lecturing police recruits at the SAMU training campus on tactics, weaponing, handling, discipline, and professional policing. William Fayaselu recognized the retired police officer and Paramount Chief for his diligent and dedicated service to the Sierra Leone Police, as well as his willingness to share his vast policing experience with recruits currently undergoing advanced public order training at the SAMU campus. Retired Superintendent of Police and Paramount Chief Brahma Sanda Sori Jim Abu Sankor expressed appreciation for the honor bestowed upon him by the IGP and the Executive Management Board of the Sierra Leone Police, noting that he felt deeply privileged and proud to have served through the ranks of the Sierra Leone Police. He reaffirmed his commitment to continue rendering voluntary service to the Sierra Leone Police whenever called upon. Now, weeks after the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation's fire incident, Orange Sierra Leone has empathized with the public broadcaster. During the visit, the team donated the sum of 15,000 leones as their own support. Suleiman Babature has more.
I received this on behalf of the National Broadcaster. I will look in as part of Orange Corporation's responsibility, which is really a lot of effort. I think everyone in this country.
The visit and donation of 15,000 leones by Orange Sierra Leone was in appreciation of the national broadcaster's role in supporting their company through advertisement and other programs in educating and informing the country. The visit was also to strengthen the existing relationship between the two entities.
One of our ambitions in Sierra Leone is to reinforce our CSR support across all facets of society. And that is why we're here today, in response to the unfortunate situation that your corporation faced. We're here to offer support and to also look for opportunities of partnership.
Registering her appreciation, the Director General of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, Josephine Fatima Kamara, informed the Orange team about the old Orange studio at the SLBC and called for possible investment opportunities to improve the institution.
If you tap into any of our radio programs, for example, you rest assured that the rest of the country will hear about your product. So we're really looking forward to an opportunity to partner.
Josephine Kamara also updated the team about the SLBC and Priority Solutions Nationwide Comedy event, for which she said they were open to partnership. The team was also taken on a tour to the recently commissioned SLBC studio, the Bont area, and the old Orange studio. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babature reporting.
Away from that, as the world marks the International Day of Families, the Ministry of Social Welfare has taken the celebration to the Female Correctional Center in Freetown. The occasion brings inmates together with their families in a rare and emotional reunion aimed at promoting family unity and rehabilitation. Emmanuel Williams has more.
The International Day of Family is observed globally to show the importance of family as the foundation of society, promoting values of care, responsibility, and social cohesion. At the Freetown Female Correctional Center, the atmosphere was filled with emotions as inmates reunited with their families, sharing moments of joy, reflection, and renewed connections. Most of the inmates have been separated from their families for long periods. For many of the inmates, the visit provided rare opportunities to reconnect with loved ones, strengthen bonds that are often weakened by separation. The initiative reflects growing efforts to promote rehabilitation, social inclusion, and emotional healing within correctional centers. The Minister of Social Welfare, Melrose Camington, spoke on the critical roles of families in shaping the behavior of their children to prevent crime.
I say not all is lost. But you see this day where the UN declare now a day of reflection. Where with man say reflection, now a day where you for sit down, you think. You na mama, you na papa, you na pikin. Anybody where you be, this day, family day, now day for reflection. How me family day? How I don't handle my family? Me na daddy, how I don't handle my family? Me na mama, how I don't handle my family? Me na pikin, how I don't handle my family? Family na a very important unit where supposed to build a nation. Now the foundation, who side the host the tima. If that foundation they not strong, what's in the happen?
The celebration featured a variety of activities, including drama, dance, and gift presentation, creating a lively and inclusive environment within the correctional facility. Deputy Director General, Sierra Leone Correctional Service, Susan Coker, said the rehabilitation process is also yielding positive results, with many inmates now engaged in skills training and production of local items.
Families can sit and know where we have gone wrong to make amends. So as an institution, we know that we are dealing with inmates. Our role is to rehabilitate them, our role is to reform them and reintegrate them into the society as citizens. But we also came to the realization that they came from a family. We are the second family that are taking care of them, but they came from homes, they came from communities, and they came from family. Often now and then, like I stated earlier, these women, especially the women, are abandoned by their families. Nobody wants to be associated with prisons. Nobody wants to say that my family is in prisons, because sometimes they blame them for bringing the family name into disrepute, for bringing the family name down. So most
items produced by inmates, ranging from crafts to other handmade products, were displayed, showcasing creativity and the potential for self-reliance after release. For LCBC News, Emmanuel Williams reporting.
Now from the mainline news, let's now go over to business updates.
It's a pleasant welcome to the business updates, the segment that brings you the latest in business and its contributions on the economy. I am Alwyn Fox. Coming up into this edition, Mabron community in the western area is set to get permanent market center. And now, the Mabron community in western area will soon get a permanent market center. Business people say the facility, when completed, will ease the burden they undergo during the rains and other harsh weather to make ends meet. Our business reporter, Joey Andumbuya, has more on this story.
The news of having a permanent community market brought joy to the locals of Mabron. This land is where the structure will be constructed. Residents here depend largely on Waterloan and Tombo markets to buy foodstuff and other items. This has placed more burden on women as they usually spend more transportation to get to those places.
We spend significant portion of monies meant for cooking on transport to those distant markets. This affects us seriously.
Because we wouldn't marry those guys. The man they give you some man, they give you 50,000.
We are happy that we will soon have a market in our community after a long struggle of going to other markets just to buy small things.
Saliu Sise is the headman of Mabron village. He said the initiative was born out of compassion as their women have been struggling to trade, especially during the rainy season, thanks to community mobilization.
Because of the way people are finding it difficult to get to the markets, to get basic items for cooking, that is why we came together and provided community land so that we can build a market.
The construction work is expected to begin June this year. For SLBC, Joey Andumbuya.
Well, many thanks to Joey Andumbuya for that story. Well, that's all we can share in today's edition of Business Updates. I've been your presenter, Alwyn Fox. Keep watching SLBC.
From the business updates, let's now go over to our entertainment desk.
Hello and welcome to another update of our exciting entertainment news with me, Abdul Mansari. In this edition of entertainment news, Jay Zino links up with LJ and Incredible JJ. And of course, Don Jazzy visits Sierra Leone for the first time. Now, Jay Zino, Liberian superstar who rose to fame with his single, has linked up with our Sierra Leonean stars King Boss LA and Incredible JJ here in Freetown. Jezino, who was featured in one of Incredible JJ's song, Crush, was spotted vibing and having fun in Freetown with the superstars.
I gave you bread to make you mine. Special love, you gonna find. I have me at the daytime. I will protect you, my baby.
The Liberian artist took it to his Facebook page to thank LJ and Incredible JJ for the hospitality and love they showed to him, as he was received at the Freetown airport with love, and the love still continues. Yeah, big up Jezino. Keep having quality time with our stars. And finally, Don Jazzy, the CEO of Maven Records and one of Africa's biggest music executives, producers and talent developer, is presently in Freetown for the very first time. His visit has opened a lot of opportunities for entertainers to interact with him. Don Jazzy, on his arrival, was caught reciting one of Cayman's song, Bamboos.
Welcome to Freetown. Okay, so we are out here in Freetown.
This is the point of no return.
Every time you go left Bamboos.
Salome.
Okay, so this, yeah, everything is free? Ah, they say everything is free in Freetown. This is what I like to hear. We are out here in Freetown where everything is free. I don't know why I'm coming to Freetown without Johnny Drill and Rima and DJ.
Tiwa Savage is also on ground, and many artists like Star Z, Camouflage, among others, have paid them visits. Don Jazzy's visit might create opportunities to discover and connect with young Sierra Leonean talents ready for the international stage. Thus, it is necessary for every talent to seize this chance with both hands and let their passion shine through. Indeed, you should grab this particular opportunity. Your story might change with just a single freestyle, introduction, or a demo. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Entertainment News, and I've been your presenter, Abdul Mansari. Bye-bye.
Many thanks to Abdul Mansari for that entertainment news. Let's now find out the latest in sports.
Hello and welcome to the sporting updates that keeps you in the know. And by the way, my name is Abdul Kabir. Extreme thanks for your time. Now, Manchester City are the champions of the FA Cup for 2025-2026. And in today's edition, we flip our attention to wrestling, as Sierra Leonean wrestler is making the nation proud on the international stage. But now, Sierra Leonean wrestler Gabriel McDuffie has secured silver medal in the recent African Championship in Egypt. Well, according to him, this is a significant milestone that will propel the sport to a greater height. Here is the update.
So I'll give you two answers. So the reason I've been wanting to wrestle since I was a kid. I grew up around mainly basketball and football, football Americano, traditional American football, and those sports wasn't very interesting to me. So one day I was wandering around a local gym at my sister's basketball game, and I saw they had a wrestling practice, and I fell in love with it ever since. So my reason for wrestling for the country, because I want to pay tribute to my ancestors, because that's the least I can do for my own home country, because I wrestled for the United States for a very, very long time, and I want to do something different. I want to be able to represent a country that I can be able to shine bright at.
Okay. So when did you make your first international appearance for Sierra Leone?
So my first appearance was in London, England, at the English Championship. at the Engelstein Open. So I ended up taking 5th place. I ended up beating my opponent from Iran. Then I beat an opponent from Mongolia. But due to an eye injury, I was unable to compete for the rest of the tournament. So I ended up taking 5th place at the tournament.
Okay. That was wonderful. How much would you describe your career in wrestling? How much would you describe your career in wrestling?
Well, my career in wrestling has been it's like a roller coaster. You got your ups, you got your downs, you got your what was that, and you got your I wish I could do that again with type moments. But my career in wrestling has been a phenomenal one, and I don't regret the journey that I'm on.
Okay. So tell us about your success story in Egypt when you competed for Sierra Leone in the international arena.
So when I competed in Egypt, it was a very, very wonderful experience because, I had my friends from East Africa going to the tournament. I was able to see them, talk with them, interact with them. I had my friends from Kenya, Uganda, and a little bit of Maruja. It was a wonderful experience because they got a chance to see me wrestle in person because they have never seen me wrestle in a live match before or in a live tournament. They always see videos of it, but they never actually got a chance to wrestle in it. And I had my friends, I had my coaches, Eric Palmer and Coach G, and Mr. Jamal was there to watch me and my teammate Albert wrestle in the tournament. So it was a very good experience for all of us because, we're a good group of people. We got a chance to support one another, not just for Sierra Leone, but for other countries as well, such as Kenya, Uganda, and Maruja. And it was a wonderful experience because I was able to make friends with Nigeria and a little bit of and I was able to make friends with a little bit of with the Cameroon team as well.
In the international scene, Manchester City are the champions of the FA Cup for 2025-2026 season. After an excellent performance against Chelsea, it was Ghana's Antonio Semenyo who secured the all-important goal for Manchester City. Well, the citizens are looking absolutely ready for the bigger occasions. Well, for Pep Guardiola, he has secured 20 trophies in 10 years at Manchester City. He is such a successful manager with so much under his belt. And that's it, your update. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Alright, many thanks to our sports desk for that update, and that's how we wrap up this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Now to end the news, your top stories again. A gender and power analysis survey conducted across 10 public universities in Sierra Leone has revealed widespread concerns over sexual and gender-based violence, with researchers highlighting weak institutional policies, low awareness levels, and inadequate reporting mechanisms with tertiary institutions. The ECOWAS resident representative in Sierra Leone, Ambassador John Azuma, has called on Sierra Leoneans to take collective responsibility in protecting the environment through regular cleaning up activities and proper sanitation practices. And the National Revenue Authority has commissioned the newly constructed border crossing point at Jandema in Pujaun District, marking another milestone in Sierra Leone's drive towards customs modernization, improved border security, and enhanced revenue generation. Well, that's the end of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Thanks for watching, and do continue to stay tuned to your public broadcaster, the SLBC. I am Cecilia Alice Cisse. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that. For Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it.